Right, welcome back everyone, and today we're going to look at how good the kit lens is, that's the 16 to 50 you get with the Nikon Z50, this thing here. So, I think it's pretty good, but obviously it goes from, what was it? It's 3.5 to 6.3. So I'm only going to get f3.5 when I'm at 16mm. Now, this lens for street photography is pretty damn good, to be fair. It's pretty spot on in there. For landscapes, it's okay. I wouldn't use it instead of the camera that I use for landscapes, which actually happens to be the D850, and I'd probably use it with a PCE tilt shift lens, basically. So the question is it any good for portraits? Well, when I shoot on the 850, I tend to use the 70-200. I like the compression that I get into it, but although that lens does 2.8, I don't use that. I tend to use 5.6 or even f8 in the studio, because actually I want the depth in the face. I don't want it really shallow across the face with everything else out. I need to the back of the ears in focus perfectly. And that's where I think actually we might be able to cope with that on this being 6.3 at 50. So if I come back a little bit, I might get that to 5.6, we'll see. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have a little play with that and look at it from a portrait point. I am using it in the studio. I do have the studio trigger on to here as well, and I've got it on the 850 as well. So I'm literally going to switch between these two cameras and lenses and just see what the results are. So let's have a look. Okay, I've set the lighting up now. What we've got here, we've got a strip box just there, just to add a little bit of fill to the one side. I've got a strip box at the back there, just to put a bit of keying at the back there. And then just there, we've got a beauty dish, which has got a grid on it, just for the main light. That's our key light that we've got into there. I just like that setup, it works for us. My settings on this camera is f8. So I'm not using the 2.8 that this lens is capable of, but I'm not using it for that scenario. If I was doing a wedding or something and I was doing some repertoire and I was far away, yes, I would use the 2.8 and I would need the light. I'm in the studio. If I take a shot without the trigger on, it's going to be pure black and that's it. So everything that we create here today is because of the light that we've got here. So let's have a little play now and do some shots. There we go. And by the way, our model for today is Megan. She's willing participant, honest. No bribery was involved at all. Yeah. So okay, one thing I've noticed using this in the studio is obviously the settings that we're using, shutter speed of 200, f5.6, ISO 100, it's pitch black in here. And being an electronic viewfinder, it showed us pitch black on the back. So I've had to go into the menu system, go to the settings, shooting and display, and apply settings to live view as off. That way I can actually see on the back of the camera what it is that I'm photographing, because otherwise I can't focus. Didn't think about that as an issue. Okay, so using this now, I put it on f8, we're at 50. I do have to get a bit closer because I haven't got 70-200 that I can zoom all the way in. So it does mean you get a bit more up close and personal to your subject. Go. Nice. But again, that's not always a bad problem to have, to be fair. When you are closer, you can build up a bit more of a rapport. You can get a slightly different look because you are so close to that person. So it's not a bad thing. But you've got to be prepared to do that, to be fair, to move a bit closer. So one of the things I've noticed with shooting with this is having the electronic viewfinder and doing the portrait side of stuff. Actually, when it's finished, the review comes straight through into the viewfinder. I can see exactly what I've just taken without moving, ready for the next shot, and bang, I've gone. Whereas before, I suppose I'm taking it down, I'm reviewing, having a look every now and then, running off 10 shots, then going back to it. So actually, that's quite a good thing, really. Okay then, so we've done quite a few shots of these. We're going to go into the edit suite now and have a look at these. So we'll talk through the differences and what I think. I think you'll be surprised. I was really surprised. I actually really love the EVF on this, being able to see it. You might already have mirrorless and quite like it, so you'll have to make that judgment for yourself. Have a look at the photos, see what you think. Got it in Lightroom and I'm comparing the D850 is going to be on the left hand side and the Z50 is on the right. And we're never going to get the images identical because I didn't take them at the same time, in all fairness, onto that. But you can see the differences between this here. And actually, yes, I've got in closer here than I did on the 70-200, but I'm really impressed with the quality that's coming out of that. For that little tiny 16-50, yeah, you know, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I prefer the 70-200 at a push. Let's have a look at another set of images. Again, slightly differently. Just looking at all the detail into these. Quality is superb into there, sharpness is beautiful. Absolutely lovely. Yeah, lighting's slightly different on that. I've actually preferred the lighting on the Z50 onto that. I don't think that's got anything to do with lens as much as it does. So obviously this is where it comes in. Those were all on plain backgrounds. Now we've got an actual canvas background in here, and the 70-200 has just beautifully bokeh that out. Absolutely lovely. Whereas we haven't done that over here onto that. But we have gone right down to 2.8 to show what we can get onto that. And obviously we're at 6.3 and we're zoomed in at 47, so that's the max we're going to get. So yeah, I sort of understand that, to be fair. Still not bad, still like it, it's still nice, but it's not a 2.8 lens at the end of the day. So yes, you're not really going to get that, but do you need it? Well, that's for you to decide. I can't tell you that. Again, 2.8 showing the difference. This time I'm going 6.3 and I've gone a bit closer and it's blurred out a little bit more. But, you know, that's what we're going to get with the Z50. But the quality that we're getting on these images is superb. I actually prefer the sharpness that we're getting onto that. And I think that's partly because obviously I'm shooting at 2.8, so I've got a really shallow depth of field into that, which is fair enough, it's the style. 2.8. Now I did take some other ones as well, just out and about. So this is with the Z50 outdoors, as is, and I think that's come out absolutely beautiful. The quality and the sharpness, it's still loading at the moment into there. The quality and the sharpness coming out of that is just immense, absolutely beautiful. Nice for the backgrounds, that's actually really nice. Now if that was a 2.8, I'd lose a lot of that detail in the background. Actually, it's quite nice to see there, to be fair. Again, nice little portrait. Background's nicely out of focus, which is great. Yes, 2.8 is going to merge all that in a little bit more, but you know, it is what it is. It's a 6.3 lens, but I'm just showing you that you can actually get some really fantastic results with just the kit lens. Yes, there's some different features, and it might be worth going to a prime with that Z if that's what you want, but this is all about the kit lens and I think it's suitable for portraits. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. That's it from us. We're going to leave you to it now and we'll catch you on the next one.